I was walking with the Grim Reaper when I suddenly realized I was being followed by a suspicious man. To figure out who he was, I went home and asked the Grim Reaper for his name, but the Grim Reaper said if I wanted to know his name, I'd have to pay a price. That price would be half of the remaining years of my life. Hearing that, I knew the cost was too high, so I had to come up with a plan. I wrote something in the death note, and then waited until the next day. I took the bus with my girlfriend, and made sure the man following me got on the bus as well. At this point, he had fallen right into the trap I set for him. When I saw the detective sit directly behind me, I asked him why he was following me, but he just buried his head in a newspaper, completely ignoring me. Suddenly, a man with a gun burst onto the bus, took control of the driver, and ordered everyone to hand over their money. Seeing this, I quickly grabbed a pen and paper, and wrote that I could take down the criminal, but only if he revealed his name. Just as the thug was about to pull the trigger, he reluctantly pulled out his ID and said he was an agent. Once I knew the agent's real name, I threw a crumpled piece of paper on the floor, deliberately distracting the thug. When the thug bent down to pick it up, he was shocked by what he saw. A monster suddenly appeared on the bus. Without hesitation, the thug started shooting, but the bullets had no effect on the Grim Reaper. The thug panicked and ran away, only to be hit by a car the next second. In reality, this was all part of my plan. The night before, I had written out this whole scenario in the death note, including the thug's death in a car accident. The reason I did this was to find out the name of the man who had been following me, but when I got home, I still hadn't written his name in the death note. Instead, I came up with an even better plan. So the next day, as the agent was leaving work, I placed an envelope on the subway with the death note and an earpiece inside. I had already set up an ambush on the subway. Once the agent put the earpiece in his ear, I threatened him. If he didn't write down the names of his colleagues in the notebook, I'd make everyone on the train die of heart failure. The next second, a passenger sitting next to him suddenly died. When the agent checked the passenger's pulse and confirmed they were dead, he had no choice but to obey me, and started writing down the names of his colleagues. One by one, the agent's colleagues started dying, but in the end, the agent couldn't escape either. As soon as he stepped off the subway, he collapsed from heart failure and died. With officers at the station dying one by one, the agent's wife suddenly realized something. She remembered that the last person her husband had been following was me, and she suspected I was the mastermind behind it all. So to make me confess, the next day she kidnapped my girlfriend,